Malcolm Wilson, your first time to Ireland in Audi Quattro, your first time ever in Donegal. Does it please you that practice is allowed this year?
Oh, very much so. I mean, I definitely don't think I would have been here if they hadn't allowed practice. You know, it puts everybody on a much more even footing. And I think it's a good idea, and I hope it works well for everybody.
The Audi Quattro is not supposed to be that reliable on tarmac. Does that worry you at all?
Well, obviously, you know, it hasn't performed very well when it's come to Ireland. I mean, Stig won Ulster last year, but the circuit and things like that, I think it's all the little bumps and that and the strain on the drive shafts that cause the problems.
You've been driving the stages over these last few days. Do you think that it will be suitable for the Audi?
Definitely not. I can assure you that. I mean, there's probably 50% of them, yes, but the other 50%, I mean, there's just... I can guarantee you that there will be some places when I'll have to do a 3-point turn to get round the bend.
Vincent Bonner, you had a brilliant win here last year in your Escort. How do you expect it to be in the Ascona?
Well, you know, this is the first time I've ever driven the car, and everybody that I've spoken to about an Ascona said that it's a lot stabler car on the road and it handles a lot better than an Escort, you know, but it's going to take, you know, 5 or 6 stages before, I really know what it's going to be like. So we just have to play it very cool now.
Pace notes this year, I'm sure you have certain views on it.
Oh, well, I think that they're a very good thing, to be honest with you, because the speeds that we're going at the moment are just crazy unless you know where you're going, because you're living very, very dangerously without them. And I think they're good for everybody concerned, you know.
Billy, bearing in mind that there's pace notes involved in this rally and the top class field that have entered, will you have to pull out all the stops from the very first stage?
Well, I'd say that a lot of people here will be going flat out. All right, I don't want to kill myself just yet, but I will be trying to stay reasonably close to them, I think. It's a fairly short rally compared with the circuit, and you know, something like a puncture could be decisive, I think. So, you know, one puncture, I'd say, and you'd be out of it, really.
You've been up here in Donegal with the last few days practicing the stages. How have you found them?
Fairly mixed. It's a good balance between fast roads, and there's quite a bit of tight stuff in it as well, but overall I'd say it's fairly good. It's not too rough. It's not nearly as rough as the territory that was used in the end of the Circle of Ireland, so you know, all around it's a pretty good route, I think.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks, Wes.
Donegal 84 is a pace notes rally. That must please you no end, Bertie.
I was glad to see pace notes introduced now in Donegal again. Back in the early 70s there was pace notes in Donegal, and that's when we had the best rallies, I think. So I think that if they can hold the pace note theme for future Donegal rallies, we'll get back to real top European competition, and I think that's what we need.
Very threatening clouds overhead. Is torch ice going to be very, very difficult this morning?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. It looks as though it's going to be very showery all day today, and listening to the forecast, probably showery tomorrow as well. So obviously it does make a big difference which tyres you've on. It's always a difficult choice. So we just have to keep our eye on the clouds and watch how much wind we have, you know. I think we'll probably start the first stage on slick tyres because it's in quite high ground, which will dry very quickly, and there seems to be quite a good breeze about.
Austin Mchale are reckoned by many to be the favourites of this event. Human man of no slugs.
Since you're becoming something of a tarmac expert, have you had any problems over these early stages?
Well, the biggest problem we had was that we changed the spring specification on the back for the event, and we dropped the car down and put some stiffer springs on it, and that was quite a big mistake. And the back end has been jumping around all over the place. You know, we've been riding on the bump stops most of the time. It's just like driving an Escort again. But we've just changed them now and put back on the softer springs, and hopefully that'll give us a bit more travel and make the ride a little bit more comfortable.
And what about through stage times over these 3 stages?
Well, it's about as we predicted. You know, the 3 local Mantas, or the 3 Irish Mantas, should I say, Billy, Bertie and Austin, are in their own rally, and we're just trying to be the best of the rest, which is exactly how it stands at the moment, you know. So yeah, we're quite happy about where we're lying at the moment. Yes.
Thank Bertie Fisher, with nearly half a minute lead on Friday evening, is it more than we expected?
Nah, I don't think so. The pace has been very, very fast, and it's very hard to know, 30 seconds of a lead after 9 stages of a rally really isn't an awful lot, and especially in Donegal, where it's a very, very bumpy rally generally, and so hard on the cars. It's very hard to know how quick you should be going. But I know that we're going very quick, and Billy's obviously going very quick, so we're leading at the moment, and it's a nice way to be. It's better to be in front than to be second, but we're happy enough. We'll have to see how it goes tomorrow.
Thanks very much, Bertie. Thanks, Bertie. Billy Coleman, approximately 30 seconds behind Bertie at the moment. Is it a bit much on Friday evening?
Oh, I wouldn't think so. It's about half a second a mile, and I think overall we're probably closer to the leader than we would have expected this morning, So I'm quite happy, really.
And you've had no problems whatsoever with the car all day?
No, none at all. The only problems on our pace notes for one of the stages, 2 back, finished about a mile before the end. The stage was longer than we realised. We lost a bit of time there, but overall no problems at all.
And no change of tactics tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. The pace is fairly hard, I'd say. Wouldn't say there's an awful lot left, The weather might upset things a bit. I think they're forecasting rain, so that might change the pattern a bit. You never know.
Thanks, Billy. Austin Mchale in 4th place. Have you found the pace very, very fast today?
Yeah, it's been extremely quick. Bertie seems to be going very well. We're beginning to get a bit more on the pace now, and hopefully get more used to the nose for tomorrow. So.
You got cut out earlier on today with a wrong tyre choice. Approximately how much time has that cost you?
Well, we dropped about 45 seconds, 50 seconds over the second 3 stages. We went out in intermediates, and unfortunately it was all dry. And we dropped a fair bit of time. But other than that, we've been going okay. The car's going very well. So hopefully pull back a bit of time tomorrow.
Billy, almost 2 minutes of a lead. Barring mechanical problems, are you home and dry?
Well, you can never say that, especially up around here. You know, the nature of the country. We should be all right, I think, bar a puncture or a mistake on my part. But the car is absolutely flying, and you know, I'll be keeping our fingers crossed.
Are you going to go flat out, or will you just feather a little bit this morning?
Oh, I think there's no point in going flat out at this point now. I'm sure there'll be a few other people who will probably be doing that, but we'll just have to keep an eye on them, and we'll be on a fairly steady pace, I think, and just play it by ear.
Best of luck to you, Billy. Thank you. Pat, Ramelton yesterday evening was a thrilling second in your case. Can you recall much of what was happening?
Well, it got rather slippy on one of the bends, or maybe it was driver error, I don't know, but we went off and hit one of the houses and lost a fair bit of time there, you know.
But you did very, very little car damage there, I think.
No, we had no structural damage other than the wing. That's just all. I just caught it from wheel and delayed us for a few minutes getting it back, but other than that, we're okay.
Saturday stages, Richie, were very, very wet. I think they suited your car in particular.
Yes, much more so than the Mantas, I would say.
In fourth position at the moment, Richie, what are your chances of picking up a place or two?
Well, it's dry at the moment. I think unless it rains very hard today, my chances are practically nil, because the Mantas are so much quicker and much more developed than my Escort.
There were spectacular moments yesterday, Bertie. Could you tell us a little bit more about them?
So it was all very quick. It was on Thanet Head stage, second time through. The stage was basically bone dry. but we came to a hairpin right and down around a fast right-hand bend, and the road just changed to a sheet of ice, really. It was very, very wet, and just followed by a very sharp left-hand bend at the corner of a house with some rock sitting on the inside of the bend, and we tried to handbrake around them, and the back of the car just slid into a drain, sitting onto the chassis rail, and there wasn't a spectator inside. So by the time we got some people gathered up and got the car out, we lost 3.5 minutes. Dropped from first to third. So hopefully we can do something about it today. I don't think there's any way we're going to catch Billy, but you never know with rallying. They can have their problems. They were both lucky. Austin went off on a stage in the last 5 minutes and the stage was cancelled. Billy went off twice and lost no time worth talking about. So I go off once and lose 3.5 minutes. So maybe they have their problems to come yet.
Leading in the rally winners, ladies and gentlemen, behind them, Billy Coleman, putting on the winner's wreath, and maybe we get a chance to talk to Ronan, who played a very, very big part in this weekend. Ronan, can we get around here? Or can we straight over to absolutely impossible? Donegal.